All right, let's set this back here. All right, so I am live on YouTube, which is totally different from where I usually go live. Um, which I know I look like I'm tired because I am. Um, but I am live here on YouTube because I normally don't go live on YouTube, but I'm gonna go live on YouTube today. Yeah, okay. All right. So I've been working on some teapots, and I'm going to attempt this Japanese teapot. You know, the one with the handle on the side. So tonight I'm going to actually make all the pieces for it and go from there. I just measure out just little balls of clay. Like this is going to be my spout. Um, so I'm going to throw this first. I guess I should wait to throw it, but I'm going to go ahead and throw it now. Yes, I'm throwing this little ball of clay because the teapot is not going to be that big. I guess you said, how are you throwing this little piece of clay? I'm throwing it, so I'm using my hands to really throw this little piece of clay going all the way to the bottom of the bat. So I could have done this on off the hump, but tonight I'm just gonna go ahead and go with it. All right, I am going with it tonight. And create a little bubble with that the spout here. And I'm just using my fingers to kind of do the pulling. All right. All right, let's use my needle tool to cut this off. All right, oops, get that off. All right, put that out a little bit there. We use my little blue rib. So this rib that I love to use is a mud tool rib. This is the blue one. The blue ones are hard, and the colors are to help you keep up with the density of the ribs. The blue and the green are the hard ones, and the red and the yellow ones are the soft ribs. So I prefer to use the blue or the green ones when I am throwing. If you're gonna do like burnishing on your pieces or smoothing the surface out, then using um, the soft ones will help you with that. All right. So I pretty much have this spout how I want it to be. Cut that little knob off there. All right. Clean this lip up just a little bit, right? I have a little drip on this, so smooth it out a little bit. All right. So this is pretty much what my lid is going to look like. I mean, the nozzle on this is going to look like. Going underneath, cutting. All right, just like that. Taking it. Oops. I said this is what the nozzle is going to look like. Take that, move that to the side. All right, and tonight I'm just really just throwing the pieces for it. I'll come back tomorrow um, and put it all together. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and get the body thrown. Yes, I'm moving backwards, but that is fine. This is about a pound of clay, just a pound of dark brown clay from Standard Ceramic Supply, which is their 710. Uh, this is the dark brown with grog in it. I like to use this clay body um, for the rich color that it gives when it's fired to cone 5 and 6. This clay tends to bubble and bloat a little bit when it's super hot. So to be on the safe side, fire to cone 5 and it's fine. All right. So I have this nice and centered where I want it to be at. Go ahead and do my opening. Compressing the bottom here. Let me set just a little wider. I feel like I have an air pocket down at the bottom of this, so that's the only reason why I keep compressing and pushing the clay in because I'm trying to get to that air pocket and pop it. Yep, okay, I got it. All right, good. All right, now I'm going to give it to do my first pull. I am pulling and pulling out at the same time here because in this piece, I'm going to go ahead and start working on the shape that I want for this. So you watch that pull I did out a little bit. All right. Do the same thing again, just a little bit here. Pulling out and I'm pushing in. All right. All right, so I'm going to take this small rib here and I'm going to do more shaping on the inside. So I'm going to go inside here towards the bottom and I'm pushing out. All right. Now to keep that curve from being so flat down at the bottom and caving in, I'm going to actually give it just a little lift with the metal rib here. All right. Just like so. All right. I'm not going to worry about that extra down there. I'm going to trim all that off. And I'm going to create a foot for this tomorrow. All right. Come back in using my rib, pushing out, pushing down just a little bit. All right. About right there. Take my hand inside once again, just to reassure that curve like I want it to be. All right. Just like so. All right. So one of the things I like to do, I like to use my heat gun. And take my heat gun here, dipping it up just a little bit. Pretty much I'm locking this curve in a little, and then I'm gonna work the neck just a little bit and go from there. Alrighty. So I'm gonna take the same blue rib here and work the top part. So following along that curve of that belly, I'm gonna go pushing it in some more. So about right there. I'm gonna make sure I compress my lip here. And you can do that also with using your chamois. I'm gonna wet my fingers just a little bit more here so I can really compress this lip. Pushing it in just a little bit here and then in here to compress as much as possible. Take my chamois, and it allows me to clean it up just a little bit more. All right, good. So I like this curve. I'm gonna take my middle rib here create me a nice little indentation here around the neck. All right, taking my rib. All right, so I got the little indentation there for the neck part. Clean this up. All right, good. All right, so have it pretty much like I want it right now. Go ahead and take some of this extra off. So this is a Zams tool. It's in the green pack they have. It's a trimming tool. It's XIEM. I use it a lot to kind of trim around my pieces, kind of trim while I'm on the wheel, um, just to get the little extra clay from around it. Like I said, once this stiffen up for me, I'm going to actually trim a foot at the bottom of this piece. So I'm not going to try to trim into the shape of it as much as possible. Uh, I mean, all the way, but I'm going to trim as much as possible to get some of this extra clay off here. All right. All right. So next, I'm going to now create my gallery here. All right. So usually I have like a popsicle stick or something like that that I usually use to create this gallery. Um, you can use a popsicle stick or you can use like a plastic rib. So this is one of the Mud Tools ribs that I have, which is a green one, like I was telling you guys, is the hard one. So I'm going to come in here to create the gallery. So what I'm going to do is use my finger underneath here to do the support that I need as I'm pushing down on the edge with that corner to create the little angle where the lid will sit down on. All right. So let's see, could I bring this closer so y'all can get a closer view of what I'm going to be doing here? All right. Excuse me, people. I know y'all like, who you popping around doing too much? All right, bring it just a little closer. All right, so using my rib. All right, so that's pretty much where the gallery is going to be. I'm gonna clean this up too. All right, so I got a little extra play there. So take my little chamois, come on the inside, and first let's use my needle tool to get some of this extra out of there. You can use your sponge, kind of just lightly clean the little extra bits up, right? Just like that. Use my sponge to go back in and clean that little line up. All right. Now for the outside, let me clean this up. Use my chamois to clean that up so it doesn't look crazy. All right. All right. Good. So I have my little gallery created there. All right. Yeah, so y'all can see. Okay, you see that? All right. So now let's see what we're working with here. I'm going to clean the surface up on the outside once again. All right, I love this shape. I think it's going to be good for what I want to create here. All right, give me a little heat to it. Just a little heat. All right, so now we're going to measure. I'm using my calipers to measure. As you can see, I'm measuring the inside for where the lid would touch down. All right, so I have my measurement. My measurement is set. Place this to the side. All right. All right. So I dried this out a little bit here. Now I'm going to go through and put underneath with using my fishing wire. I like to use fishing wire because I get a nice little clean cut. And a lot of times I throw thin. So fishing wire is my friend when it comes to throwing the thin bottom. But this time I left it a little thick because I wanted to kind of go in and do a foot. So I left the bottom a little thick. All right, I'm just gonna take this up, move to the side. I didn't have to worry about the shape um, changing on me because I dried it out a little bit so that way when I got ready to pick it up, it's gonna stay in the shape that it was. All right. All right, so now let's throw this lid. I have my measurements. All right, let's throw this lid. So I'm taking my fingers, saying, okay, Gotta create my little knob. Take my fingers down so you guys can actually see. And at this angle, you can actually watch, have a good show of watching me create this, right? Put it back on center. On down. Put a little hole in there. All right. And sorry, you guys. I think it stopped on me a little bit. Cut that off. Mhm. So now this air is trapped inside, so I can shape it like I want to shape it. All right. I'm just using my rib to smooth it out a little bit. At this point, I'm just playing along with it because I'm just trying to figure out what I'm going with here. All right. So now I have to measure out to see how wide or how thin it needs to be. All right. So now I'm going to do that. As you see, I'm pinching here. And then I'm also compressing with using the sponge like so. So if I have too much of an overhang, that is totally fine. It's totally fine. Using my rib to kind of flatten it out a little bit. All right. And that is totally fine right there because I'm going to change that in just a moment, right? So taking my um, calipers here, and so measuring the center point with the knot being in the center, going straight down. All right, from this edge here, I cut the extra off. All right, cut it off just like that. All right, take it off, let it splash pan. All right, take my chamois. Well, take my sponge first. Go around it just like so. This is my chamois. Here we go. All right, trust me, I'm not gonna worry about the extra. It's like I told you, I'm gonna get ready to trim that off in just a moment. Here. All right, I'm loving this. So it looks good so far. So now I'm going to get my heat gun and just dry it out. All right, because I like a smooth top here and smooth out this a little bit. Do. All right. So got that where I wanted to be. All right. Now I'm gonna actually take this off, just like so. All right, take it over to the side. See where we are with 15. All right. So that means I'm gonna have to trim just a little bit off, which is totally fine. I'm gonna do that. I'll show you guys how I'm gonna trim in just a few minutes. I'm gonna show you first so you can see what I just did to the side. Hands off. So what I did was, here's the piece, right? I took this lid and I flipped it over just to see like how much I was gonna have to trim off, right? Which is not bad. This is totally fine. That I will have to trim. Once I trim this, it's gonna also shrink too as I start trimming. Um, but I'm gonna trim this here, and I'm gonna trim just a little bit on the edge. All right. And I'm gonna see something right quick. Might help me in the eyeballing for trimming. So that gallery sits pretty much right in here. So I pretty much will have to trim a little close to this edge here. All right. Set that to the side. Move that. Now, for the next part, actually be the handle, right? So for this handle, get this centered, open it up. Because it's the handle, I can go all the way to the back with it. All right. Yeah, few pulls here. All right. Dry it out, y'all. Yeah, dry it out a little bit. All right. I don't want it too dry. I do want to dry just a little bit. All right. Now what I'm gonna do is take this lid, sit it right on there. Get it centered. Almost there. See, need to go over just a little bit more that way. Almost there. All right. That's where it's gonna be at. So I'm we'll have tapping on there. All right. So now I'm gonna actually start trimming some of this off, right? So I'm trimming this down, and I mean down. Um, I want it to fit nice up inside of this jar. I'm trying this all the way down as well. Use the loop side so I can really trim. All right. I'm just trimming it, y'all. I know I got a little quiet there. Because a lot of times when I get into doing the trimming, I um, just zone out a little bit. And so I just, that's what I just did. I just zoned out and I just realized I am recording a video and it is live on YouTube. So I need to make sure that I am being inactive here. All right. All right. All right. So I got that where I want it. Smooth it out. Since I can't really get inside of that with my rib, I'm going to use this rubber tip brush. It's a brush, but it's a rubber tip brush. And I'm just using that to smooth the surface on the inside. Works better when I use this for the outside here. All right. So remember I told you I was gonna have to trim a little of this edge off. So I'm gonna take my nip tool and just mark down. Right, just like so. That should make it easier for me to trim it down. All right. Getting a little crud out of it. All right. All right. Let's see. Let's see. So using my calipers, I'm still a little too wide. All right. Had to go and trim a little more. All right. And that looks like we there, y'all. Looks like we there. All right. Take my tool here. Do that. All right. Still too wide. All right. Let's see how much wider it is. Almost there. Almost there. All right. All right, let's try this again. All right, let me check it out now. Okay, it fits. It does fit. So what I'm gonna do now is shape the edges up. I'll do that. I'm gonna let that sit to the side. I'm going ahead and work on this uh handle first. Right, and then I finish that last. All right, let's fix this little curve here. A little twist. All right. Use this. Rest that wobble on the inside of the carbon insert. Get that little twist out. All right. And you go back a little bit. Oops. Almost lost it. Almost lost it. Whew. Woo! All right. I'm just trying to smooth these little lines out that you can't see here. All right, those little grog lines, the lines the grog makes. So yes, smooth that lip out there. Mhm. All right. I have that where I want that to be. A little heat, not too much, just a little bit. Okay. Turn my hands over here. Move that to the side. All right. Take that extra up. Tap it in. They kind of stick it in there. Oh, I needed to stay. Excuse me. Yep, it's still stuck. Give me a little more heat. There you go. Ha ha ha. All right. Just to clean that little extra. As you can see, that little curled edge there, man. With the sponge. That's a nice little fit, which I know is gonna shrink. And I'll show you guys. Can you look here? So it fits in just like so. Nice little fit. It is super tight here. So it's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing at all. I'm going to let it sit. What I'm going to do now, go straight in the center because I have air in the top of this. I'm going to push this needle tool straight through the center to help release that air from that knob. So that air in this knob couldn't escape. All right, done that. Alrighty, got that part done. I have a drill bit here that I'm going to use to make this steam hole. I'm going to make the little steam hole there at the top. All right. All righty. I have all my pieces here. I'm gonna let that all settle and rest a little bit. All right, show you guys the pieces. So here is the spout. Spout is still super wet from earlier. Bring it back out. So we have the spout, which should probably sit up here, somewhere in there. And show it to the side profile. And have this handle, which is probably gonna go on the side somewhere. Once we get all of that part figured out, we'll assemble and put it all together. All right. So I'm gonna cut this off now. Cover this with plastic, and I'll do part two tomorrow.